Hey everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a Hailey Bieber inspired makeup look. I love Hailey Bieber. I love her makeup. I love her skin. I love her style. Huge fan. And when I saw this makeup look, I'll put it up on the screen here for you guys to check out. This look is by Leah Darcy. I love her work so much. When I saw this look, I knew I had to recreate it. I loved the matching eyeshadow to the dress. It's like an avocado kind of moment. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that color, so this little Skims tank top is going to have to do. But yeah, anyways, before we get into the video, you guys, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on future uploads. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so my skin is prepped. I applied a little bit of skincare before I started filming. I'm gonna link everything that I used down in the description bar below. So if you're wondering what I used, just go take a look there. And I've also just kind of clipped my fringe out of my face just to make sure it doesn't get in the way while I'm doing my makeup. But yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to get started. So I usually start with my base. I think the perfect foundation for a light, dewy skin finish would be this one by KOSAS. This is their Revealer Skin Improving Foundation. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize it had SPF in it too. Wow, I love this foundation even more. So I have used this foundation a couple times. I've tested it out maybe 2 to 3 times, and all the times I've worn it and tested it out, I have really loved it. So I'm going to put it to the test on camera today and yeah, see how it looks. I really love the KOSAS base products. Their concealer is also really awesome, so it's no surprise that I really love this foundation as well. I'm just gonna apply like 1 pump on the back of my hand. I doubt I'm gonna use the entire pump because I'm just going to really lightly apply it and build it up. But yeah, I'm gonna put about a pump on the back of my hand. Basically, I'm just working in really, really thin layers, and I'm only kind of applying product where I feel like I need it. So I want to know, have any of you guys tried the new Rhode skincare line? I personally haven't tried it, but I am curious to, and please tell me why. I have a million lip products, like I have a million lip balms. Honestly, I have so many, but the product that draws me the most is the caramel scented lip treatment. I just want to try it so bad. It looks so good. I mean, the rest of it looks good too. I do want to try everything from her line though. Should I place an order? Have you guys tried it? Is it worth the hype? Let me know down in the comment section. I'm also gonna drag a little bit of that foundation. I'm gonna drag a little bit of that foundation down my neck, just to keep everything looking even. Okay, so I've applied about half of the foundation on my face, and I think this is pretty much the look I'm going for. I don't really want to go much heavier than this. My advice, if you want really nice, juicy, fresh looking skin, I think less on the foundation and more on the spot concealing. Maybe not like super heavy concealer, but basically what I'm saying is reserve the coverage for targeted areas when you apply concealer, and for foundation, just apply a really light thin layer over your skin. Even if you have a heavy foundation, you can mix it with your moisturizer and it'll just kind of thin it out a little bit. And yeah, your skin will just look like skin, but it'll kind of just even out and give you that flawless, perfect skin effect without looking like, oh my gosh, so much foundation. Yeah, so as you can see, like I still have a couple little blemishes peeking through, but mostly the discoloration on my face is pretty even, and it really does look like skin. It doesn't look like I'm wearing foundation whatsoever, which I love. Honestly, I'm sure you've heard me say this a million times if you've watched any of my other videos, but I'm not a big fan of foundation. I will pretty much 9 times out of 10 pick a tinted moisturizer over a foundation, or even just do no foundation and just do concealer on a daily basis. I don't know, I just feel like foundation isn't the most flattering, and I do think that makeup trends are like going in the direction of less, like a more natural minimalist vibe. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it for foundation. If I want a little bit more coverage, I can always build it up later because this foundation is really buildable. So I'm going in with my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade 2.5. I'm going in with this amazing brush by Hourglass. This is one of my favorite concealer brushes ever. It has kind of replaced my Delium Tools one that I was really in love with. I don't know the name of this brush. because the Hourglass brushes don't have names on them, but I will definitely link it down below. This one is really, really good. I'm going to kind of use that to correct under my eyes a little bit and just spot conceal any areas on my face that I want covered. This concealer, I call it the magic eraser because it doesn't even look like you're wearing foundation or concealer or anything like that. It just like looks like it's erasing your imperfections. It's such a good concealer. I really highly recommend this one if you haven't tried it. This is one of my top 3 for sure. I'm also just going to apply a little bit of that concealer around my nose, just kind of take care of that redness around that area. Next, going in with another favorite concealer of mine. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Light 1 Chantilly, and this is a brighter shade. So I'm just going to kind of highlight the certain areas of my face that I want to, mainly in the center, and blend that out. Another little quick tip, I applied the concealer under my eyes quite sparingly because if you apply too much concealer under your eyes, this will directly lead to creasing, and we don't want that. We want our under eyes to look nice and smooth. Obviously, if you have lines anywhere on your face, makeup will find a way to settle into them, but there are ways that you can prevent it from going too far. So a tip for me would be apply less concealer under your eyes, just what you need, nothing more. I do really like the way the complexion is looking so far. This combination is really nice. It doesn't look too heavy at all, but it still covers all my imperfections really nicely. So I've been using this bronzer quite a bit lately. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I've just been really liking this one. I'm going to apply it on the outer perimeter of my face and just kind of define my cheekbones a little bit. It doesn't look like Hailey is wearing a ton of bronzer. She's definitely not super contoured, but she looks like she has a nice sun-kissed glow, so I'm just gonna kind of try and emulate that. If you feel like you applied a little too much bronzer, you can take that same foundation brush you used earlier and just tap it over the edges of where you applied that bronzer. This will kind of, again, melt those products together and just kind of make it look a little bit more natural. Okay, I actually think I'm gonna move on to eyes now. I'm going to apply a little bit of an eye primer. I'm going in with my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the original formula. I'm going to use this one because it has a little bit of pigment to it, so it kind of applies like a really light concealer. So yeah, I just want my eyelids to look nice and even. You know what? While that's setting in, I'm actually gonna do my brows really quickly because Hailey's brows in this look are super, super minimal. Honestly, based on the photos, she could just be wearing brow gel, but I'm going to add a few little hair-like strokes into my brows as well. I'm going to start by combing my brows into place using the KOSAS Airbrow Clear Brow Gel, and I'm just going to kind of give them a bit of a fluffy, lifted shape. I'm honestly not a huge fan of the fluffy brow look on me, honestly. I feel like the fluffy brow look, I'm just not loving. For me personally, not the biggest fan. I just feel like my brows never look how I want them to look when I style them in this way. I also feel like when I brush my brows up, they look a lot wider and I just don't like the look of that. So I'm just kind of giving my brows a slight comb upwards. I'm not really taking it too far. Yeah, I don't know. That's about as fluffy as I like to go personally. Once I've kind of figured out how I want my brows to be shaped and I've combed them into place, I'm going in with my NYX Lift and Snatch Espresso Brow Tint Pen. It really doesn't look like Hailey's wearing a brow pencil or anything, so I'm just gonna draw a couple hairs where I feel like I have some sparse areas and keep it really natural looking. If you're looking for a brow pen, I would recommend this one. It's just from the drugstore. It's pretty affordable, but it is great. It gives you the most precise, thin, hair-like strokes. It's pretty easy to use, and so far, this one has lasted me a really long time as well. I just store it upside down, and I've had no problems with it. Okay, now back onto eyes. Let's get to the fun part. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly what she has going on, so I'm just gonna do my own version. So I have this cute little palette from ColourPop. I think this will be perfect for this look. This is their In the Limelight Pressed Powder Palette. So I think I'm gonna take a very, very light wash of the shade Debut, the kind of blushy tone. I'm just gonna sweep that over my lid, literally the thinnest little layer. I just feel like her lids looked slightly blushy in this look, so I think putting this down as a base will be nice. I'm kind of focusing it in my crease, but I'm also just lightly brushing it all over the lid. Again, I just want the lightest wash of this color. So now taking the shade Miami, I'm going to start applying that green shadow. So on Hailey, it goes kind of from her tear duct all the way to like halfway across her lid. So I'm gonna start by doing that. That color's looking a little neon for what I wanted, so I'm going to actually dip into the shade After Party and try that and see if it works a little better. Okay, I think that's a little better. Still a little... actually, I think it's fine. Okay, so I've applied that green color. Don't know for sure how I feel about it, but I'm going to go on top of it with a shimmery shade. I'm gonna go into the shade Palms, and I'm just gonna go on top of that shade with that color. Okay, it's definitely not the exact same vibe as Hailey, but I do like this combination. I think it looks really pretty. It's a little bit brighter, but I'm not mad at it. Okay, so the tone is not exactly the same as Hailey's, but I do really like this color combination. And yeah, I think it's a really pretty pop of color. So Hailey's lids had some nice glow on them. So I'm going in with this Scattered Light eyeshadow by Hourglass, and it's in the shade Smoke. I'm just going to apply a really sheer layer of that all over my lid, just kind of catch the light. Okay, so I am realizing that the green I used is quite a bit more green than Hailey's, but that's okay. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. So I'm going to start mapping out that liner that she has. I'm going to start with a matte shadow and then kind of top it off with a bit of a glitter topper. So I'm going in with Layout in that ColourPop palette, and I'm just going to map out a little winged liner. So I'm going to be dipping into the shade Legendary from my Patrick Ta Major Dimension palette. This is just kind of a nice bronze topper shade, and I'm just going to place that on top of the liner just to give it that kind of shimmery finish. Okay, so I think the upper lid is mostly done. I'm going to go in with that green combination again. I'm going to go in first with After Party and then with Palms from that ColourPop palette and just kind of run that along my lower lash line. I feel like I'm missing a little bit of that blushy kind of tone on the eye, so I'm going back in with that Debut shade, and I'm just gonna kind of pack that on my inner corner area a little bit just to add some dimension and some blush. Okay, so I think I'm pretty happy with the eyes so far. I might go in and add a few things later, but I'm going to apply mascara now. I'm going in with the new One Size FANTASIZE mascara. I've never tried this mascara before, so I'm going to be testing it out for you guys today. Okay, so this eye has 2 coats, this eye has no mascara. So far, upon first impression, I'm liking this mascara. I'll definitely be testing it out more. I don't typically go for like a really voluminous mascara. I'm more of a light and fluttery mascara girl, but I do like this, and I think this is really nice for a dramatic look. If you want to wear more bold lashes but you don't want to wear falsies, I think this would be a really good option. But I'm going to go ahead and do my other eye and I'll be right back. So Hailey's blush looks pretty dewy in the photos and the videos that I saw, and this blush is super dewy, super natural looking. It's one of my favorite blushes and it has been for the last few months. This is by Merit. This is their cheek color in the shade Beverly Hills. Where Hailey has it is just right in the center of her cheeks. This adds a lot of volume to the cheeks and brings a really youthful appearance, so that's what I'm going to do. All right, now I'm just gonna apply a little bit of powder under my eyes, but before I do that, I always like to just pat out my under eyes with a concealer brush just to kind of smooth out any lines so we're not setting any lines into place. This really helps with your concealer creasing. Of course, I'm using my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes. This is the best under eye setting powder. I swear by this stuff. I like to take it on a pointed puff and just set like that. So I apply quite a bit, almost like I'm baking underneath the eyes. While that's setting under my eyes, I'm just gonna set the rest of my face using the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder in the Ultra Blur formulation. That powder really did blur really nicely. My skin looks super smooth and flawless. It looks really good. And then just taking a little fluffy brush, I'm gonna dust away that powder under my eyes. Moving on to lips, I'm going to line my lips with a little bit of lip liner. It looks like Hailey's wearing a little bit of like a spicy, nudie brown color. So I'm going to go in with the shade Nice and Spicy from MAC, and I'm just going to overline my lips. I'm mainly just overlining on the Cupid's bow area and right in the center of my bottom lip. It doesn't look like Hailey was wearing much lipstick, but it looked like she had a little bit of a nude padded on the center of her lips. So I'm going in with MAC Shrimpton. I believe this is discontinued. If it is, you guys can use Myth, which is another great option. And I'm just going to tap that right on the centers of my lips. And it looks like she layered on her lip treatment pretty heavy. Unfortunately, I don't have that, so I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Cosmetics Clear Lip Oil instead. I love this big applicator. It's so comfy to apply on the lips. I'm just applying a nice thick layer of that lip oil. So we're missing a little bit of glow on the skin, so I'm going to use one of my favorite highlighters ever. This is the REFY, I believe it's their glowy balm. I always forget what the name of this is because it's not on the packaging, but again, I'll link it down below for you guys. I just like to take a small amount on my finger and I just tap it on the high points of my cheeks. I'm gonna tap a little bit on the brow bone too. And a little bit on the nose. All right, our skin is looking nice and glowy. Now for the finishing touches, I noticed Hailey had a couple freckles peeking through on her nose, so I'm just going to use my Freck Original pen and just add a few freckles just to finish it off. All right, and that's it for my Hailey Bieber inspired avocado eyeshadow moment. If you guys liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. Guys, please comment down below what videos you want to see next. I feel like I'm having a really hard time staying on top of the trends these days and coming up with new ideas for you guys. So please let me know in the comments down below the videos you would like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.